Hello, everyone, and welcome to Soul Stained Ink. My name is Beth, and I am here with a weekend reading wrap up plus what I hope to read the remainder of this weekend into next week ish thing. So, yeah, let's get into talking about the books. First, I want to talk about the books I completed last week. The first one I want to talk about is a book that I am currently teaching to my 8th graders. I read it last year and completed a reread, and I'm going back through with the 8th graders over the next couple of weeks, and am actually rereading it for the second time in a week because I'm going through chapter by chapter, writing my own curriculum to go with what I'm teaching the boys, and that is Restart by Gordon Corman. This is a really good book, guys. This is about an 8th grader. He, over the summer before 8th grade starts, he falls off of the roof of his house, hits his head, and winds up with acute retroactive grade something amnesia, retrograde amnesia. There you go. And he doesn't understand why a lot of people are afraid of him or seem to dislike him. His stepmother and half sister avoid him pretty much at all costs. His mom's obviously hiding something from him. He was a big sports hero. Nobody wants to talk to him. Nobody wants to sit with him except for his sports team. And he's kind of slowly figuring out who he was and who he really wants to be. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest that you do. Now, this month has a lot of readathons going on. We've got March Mystery Madness, and it's also a middle grade March, which is not the one I typically go with. I read middle grade all the time, so I'm always taking part in that. But in May, I do middle grade May with Akos from Akosawa K and Lizzie from Lizzie Faye Loves Books. However, Restart is a middle grade book, and there's a bit of a mystery to it, so I covered 2 readathons right there. The next book I read with my daughter. She reads part of them to me, and then I read the rest. We read about a chapter or 2 chapters a night. This one is Kylie Jean, Pirate Queen, and there's a little bit of a mystery involved with this one as well. But Kylie Jean is a 2nd grade girl from Texas, and she's always getting into all sorts of shenanigans. We love her to death. Her big goal in life is to be a beauty queen, and everything she does kind of comes back to trying to be the best at everything, but not at the expense of her friendships or her family. She is very well-mannered. She is a really good friend, a really good sister, a really good daughter, and a really great role model for elementary kids. So if you don't read Kylie Jean books, you definitely should. They're by Marcy Peschke, and they're phenomenal. Little girl wanted to talk to you about them, but she's been really sick the past couple of days, so I wouldn't let her try to form sentences. But that one counted towards March Mystery Madness as well. This counts toward all 3 of those readathons. This is Skulduggery Pleasant, Dark Days by Derek Landy. So Skulduggery Pleasant is a skeleton detective. Valkyrie Kane is his teenage partner. They're in a world of magic. It is a middle grade novel. They kind of grow up as they go along, so they're middle grade YA, but they are still all classified as a middle grade series. So this is a middle grade novel written by an Irish author set in Ireland, and it's a mystery. I win. It's book 4 in the Skulduggery Pleasant series, so I'm not telling you anything about it other than the fact that this was the first time I've read this one. I read the first 3 multiple times, finally found the 4th one, absolutely adored it, gave it 4 out of 5 stars, continuing on with this series as we speak. It's phenomenal. And then the final book I read is actually an adult book. but it has some mystery involved with it. And this is The Night Olivia Fell by Christina McDonald. This is told from dual perspectives, one of them being Olivia, who is a 17-year-old girl, and the other one being Abby, who is her mother. Now, in the very first chapter, we find out that it's the middle of the night. Abby gets a phone call, and Olivia has supposedly fallen off this bridge and she's in a coma. She gets to the hospital. She finds out that Olivia will never ever be waking up again. However, the hospital cannot take her off life support because Olivia is pregnant. This is the first Abby has heard of it, and her and Olivia are really close, so she is just very confused. And the entirety of the novel is Abby trying to work out what happened, why Olivia would have been on this bridge, what's going on, and then the dual perspective is Olivia telling us everything that has led up to this. And then in the last few chapters, it all converges and we get the closure. And this ripped my heart out, tore it apart, tiny little bitty pieces, but it was also amazing. 4.5 stars. I definitely suggest that you read this. If you like character studies and kind of, it's not really a psychological thriller, but it's definitely more of a psychological in your head book. Definitely one that you should pick up. And this was part of my Once Upon a Book Club book box, and this was the third book I've gotten from them, and the third time I've been just absolutely blown away. So I'm definitely continuing on with them as well. Those are the books that Elena and I completed last week. I didn't get to read as much as I was hoping to read, but you know, I did get to read a lot more than most people, I suppose. The life of a reading teacher who has a commute. So now I want to talk to you about the books that I am currently reading. The first one being Kylie Jean, Fashion Queen by Marcy Peschke. We're only on the first couple of chapters in this one. Elena was having difficulty trying to concentrate on reading last night, so we didn't get very far. However, this is another new one that we haven't read yet, but I can already tell you it's going to be absolutely adorable. All the Kylie Jean books are. In this one, Kylie Jean is talking about fashion. Don't know where the fashion queen part is coming in yet because, like I said, we've only read the first couple of chapters. But at the very beginning, they watched the Academy Awards, and Kylie Jean was picking out her favorite dresses and styles. So I'm sure that plays a big part in it. The next book I'm currently reading, I talked about reading last weekend and then wound up reading The Night Olivia Fell, binge reading it in like a day and finishing up Dark Days. And I didn't get much done on this. In fact, I've read through chapter 3, and 2 of those chapters I read today, and that is The Multiplying Mystery of Mount 10 by Krista Van Dulzer. This is being published by Bloomsbury, and I should have read this and sent it on to the next person on the Kidlit list over a week ago, but I didn't. They're gonna stop letting me have books at this point. But this comes out on April 9th of this year. So far, it's really good. It's a quick read, and I'm looking forward to reading more. I am going to concentrate on trying to finish this up either tonight or tomorrow. It is a middle grade book, and it is a mystery book. There's only 260 pages. It's got a decent size type, so I think I can probably get that done this evening, and I am thoroughly enjoying it as of right now. And the other book that I am currently well, there's 2 more books I'm currently reading, but the other physical copy I currently have is Skulduggery Pleasant, The Mortal Coil. This is, of course, by Derek Landy. This is book 5. I told you I was continuing on immediately. The only issue I have with this book is that I enjoy reading them while listening to the audiobooks, because the first 4 audiobooks were read by Rupert. The first 4 were read by Rupert Degas, and he's amazing. Did a really great job. They were really well put together. I loved them so much. And the version of the fifth audiobook that I found is not read by him. New guy's doing a good job, but it's not the right voices and it's driving me insane. But that's fine. I'm still loving the story, and this still counts for all of the readathons. Irish, middle grade, mystery. Boom. All right, then I have two books that I have not started yet, but as soon as I complete something on my list, I will move on to starting one of these. Those are The Disappearance of Emily Maher by Louise Candlish. I really know nothing about this other than what is on the back, and basically, this woman shows up at, I think it's an island off the coast of France. She's heartbroken, penniless. She can't even afford a room for the night. And then she overhears somebody uh, repeating the code to their front door. And so she kind of sneaks off to their house, sneaks in, and meets a woman named Emmy, who, all of a sudden is like, hey, let's be friends. And then Tabby forms some suspicions about Emmy, winds up going back to England and finds this huge scandal. And that's all I know. That's what it says on the back. But it sounded very interesting. And I won this book from Simone at Me, Myself, and Simone. She's fabulous. And I think you should definitely check out her channel. I'll try to remember to link it down below. But I'm looking forward to this. It sounds like a very interesting mystery. And then the final book I have to talk to you guys about is the third book in the Dublin Murder Squad series, and that is Faithful Place by Tana French. Now, the first book followed one character and his partner. The second book followed her. So first one followed Rob and his partner Cassie, and it was from Rob's point of view. And then the second book followed Cassie and was from her point of view. And this third book seems to be following Frank Mackey, who was a detective in charge of the undercover operation that Cassie went on in the second book. So this is just kind of entangled, all these different stories coming through. And I'm very excited to continue. I love the way Tana French writes these stories. I get really invested in the characters. I am super excited to start this one. So those are all the books that I have read, am currently reading, and plan to read at the moment. If you have read any of them and want to discuss them, or if you would like more details about them, my thoughts, have me do a review, any of that jazz, or if you just want to say hi, go ahead and come talk to me down in the comment section below. Go ahead and give me a big thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe if you're new, all that jazz. I will see you again soon. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Bye.